Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association. Missouri produces wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details on the variety of products made in the state are at choosewood.com.
This is St. Louis on the Air from St. Louis Public Radio. I'm Elaine Cha.
Apple tree and persimmons and wild plum.
Well, the raised beds are made out of cut-off slabs of white oak.
The elderberries are looking really good, and our grapes are coming back. And
we carbonize the inside of it, but then on the outside you get this really natural-looking log bed.
Raspberries, blackberries, strawberries.
Finding that line between organic permanence.
Back in cold December, we had a warm conversation with gardener Rikki and craftsman Dwayne Tiggs, a South St. Louis couple building a tiny house and urban farm on their Benton Park West lot. Construction there slowed down at the end of 2022, but Tiggs and Rikki's sleeves are pretty well rolled up to get going again, and they're here with us to catch us up on what's happened since the last time we spoke. Rikki, Tiggs, welcome back.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Now, construction slowed, obviously, because of winter weather, but you also had to deal with an unfortunate incident. Rikki, what happened?
We try to keep everything locked down and put away, but one morning last winter we woke up and our trailer was not where it was when we went to bed.
And have you been able to track it down since?
No.
What was in there?
Well, I think that's the kicker. That's the first time there was nothing on there. Usually it's always loaded down with materials that we're finding or, getting together for the project.
Okay.
So it happened to be that one time. There just wasn't anything on it. And, yeah.
Okay, well, that makes it better. At least you did not lose a whole bunch of things. Now, workshops, that was part of your project, not only of building the tiny house and then building up this urban farm, but also building up community as well. What workshops have you all held since we last spoke in December, and how were they received?
On April 1st, we had the Outdoor Youth Corps and Missouri Gateway Green Building Council out, and they really helped us build and fill a whole bunch of raised garden beds, and so it's been really exciting. Everybody seemed really excited about the project, and It's good to see young people come and get involved.
Yeah, what was the age range, Tiggs, of the kids who came out?
What are they, 14 to 18 or something like that?
I think 16 to 24.
16 to 24.
Okay, so old enough to take some direction and do things.
Yeah, Rikki had to catch me because I was like, oh man, these people are coming. We got to get hot dogs and beers. And, she's like, Tiggs, these are children. We can't give them beers. I was like, I didn't realize. But yeah, they came out and they got at it and moved a large amount of topsoil and compost and got things together, and it was a cold day and they were good sports about it and stayed warm in an impromptu cinder block fireplace, and it was a good day.
Great. And the construction of the house itself is also starting to really take shape. What's your update on that?
So, we've got the first part of the footings laid. We're coordinating with the plumber and engineer for getting the drains done and the water lines done because we cannot close up the floors until that part of that project's done.
Okay.
So once that's done, we've coordinated a build day with the Cherokee Tool Library for April 13th. To do a wall building day. So the idea is to get a group of individuals together that want to learn how to do the basic construction of a building and show them how to put a wall together, and then do a old-fashioned barn raising, as it were.
Oh, that's cool. Will there be another fire at that time?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Some marshmallows and
right.
graham crackers.
And beer for those who can drink it. How long does something like that typically take?
To build a wall?
Yeah.
That just depends on the skill set and time and tools available. If you plan it out well, you could probably throw it together in a day or two.
Okay. Now, the urban farm side, that is, Rikki, what you are taking care of, have any crops started to sprout?
Yeah, we've put a bunch of perennials in, and we're starting to see them come back. We have the elderberries are looking really good, and our grapes are coming back, and then raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, and we started we put a bunch of trees in last weekend. We have apple tree and persimmons and wild plum and service berries that we got from STL.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about all that. And then I have a whole bunch of seeds started in the living room.
Oh, okay. So inside as well. Okay. And are there ones that that your kids are responsible for?
I planted some seeds with a lark last weekend, and I'm sure they'll be involved.
What are you looking forward to seeing come out of that garden, Tiggs?
I mean, I enjoy all the tasties, but the herbs, because they just add so much more flavor and terroir to dishes when you're cooking through the summer. Really just, I like the herbs.
So your relationship with the neighborhood and with a neighborhood nonprofit is growing. And you mentioned it earlier, the Cherokee Street Tool Library, which is fascinating. Tell us about the work that you're doing with them.
Obi and Augie over there are really cool guys. I'm seeing this really nice exchange of, a cup of sugar for a cup of flour kind of thing. Like, they'll come by like, hey, we got some materials. Do you need them? Or like we volunteer at a food share here in St. Louis. And there was a pop-up this weekend, and they're like, yo, we got tables at the Cherokee Library. And I'm like, okay, cool, I got a table. And at the end, we had plenty of tables by which to share food.
Okay.
So, like things like that, or one of the projects we're also coordinating with is doing a bricklaying day. So Augie over that tool library, we're trying to have a conversation about how we can make that work so he can share his craft, his modality around a studio, and then involve the Cherokee Library as well.
So before you came in, or I guess it could be yesterday as well, what were you dirtying your hands with, and what made it so enjoyable?
I'm just so excited about spring and being outside, and everything changes so quickly, and I think that's really exciting.
And for your part?
Ironing out my mistakes, as it were.
Okay.
And I was always told it's not how well you do it, it's how well you cover up your mistakes that defines you as a craftsman. So I'm tuning up the forms this time and reinforcing them a little better to pull out some little curves, and I'm finding that challenge really exciting, and I know that it'll really iron out at the end kind of thing. So it's fun.
Is there anything that you all have been doing that is, it's not purely aesthetic? You were talking the last time you were in about using broken pieces of things to create something in the garden. Is there anything like that that you all have been working on that is just meant to beautify your space and make you happy making it and looking at it?
I love wind chimes. I spent some time at a farm in Austin that had a beautiful sound garden with just all kinds of wind chimes and noisemakers, and it really made the space, because the garden is beautiful and then the sounds are nice, and just having that all around nice place, so trying to create that.
Yeah, that aligns with the theme that we have going today about music as well. Is there anything that you are working on or hoping to work on that is about making something beautiful, for the house or for the garden?
Yeah, for me, it's finding that line between like organic permanence, maybe, where, for example, the raised beds are made out of cut-off slabs of white oak. So white oak's a really durable exterior grade wood. We carbonize the inside of it, but then on the outside you get this really natural, wood like looking log bed that, for me it's like, well, maybe we want to change the orientation of the beds in a year or two so that permanence is like there with the nutrients in the soil, but then it's also giving back to the overall context. So this, I don't know, recycling of elements.
And the last question here, what has been the most interesting question you have received from people who've been watching the progress of this house and the farm?
Oh man, we had people have been really generous and with materials. And I think one that we really enjoyed and appreciated was a lady that asked us if we wanted her broken plate. And we're like, that's really awesome. But I think this is an opportunity to be creative with your plate and do something cool with it. So I think that was fun. Like, people were so excited about it. They're like, yo, I got a plate for you, man. It's like
Cool. Well, Dwayne Tiggs, known as Tiggs, is craftsman at Benton Park West Tiny House Project, and Rikki Watts is gardener at Benton Park West Tiny House Project. Get all of that straight. Thanks for the update, and happy building and planting.
Thank you.
And remember to mark your calendars a month from now. Tiggs and Rikki will be hosting that wall building workshop they mentioned. That'll be Saturday, May 13th. This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio.
This episode was produced by Maya Norfleet.
Our audio engineer is Aaron Dorr.
Our production intern is Avery Rogers.
This podcast was mixed and edited by Aaron.
Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Our podcast proudly supports St. Louis artists by using music from Life Creative Group.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations, and leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thank you.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis.
Support comes from Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to sustainable and sound conservation of the state's forests, which support more than 41,000 Missouri jobs, resulting in a $10 billion industry. ChooseWood.com.